All right, here we go. Go Sports Radio. Carver and Cuthbert here with you at Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. And it is, Paulie. The doors open Thursday. Doors open Thursday. Beer Thursday. Doors open Thursday. Between two ferns Thursday. Everything that it always is on a Thursday down here as we get ready, coming off a huge Game 1 win last night in San Antonio over the Spurs, 105-95, getting the job done. Tommy, how was it? What time did you get out of here last night, Tommy?
What time did you get out of here? 2?
Let's go.
The place was rocking.
Rocking last night here for the Knicks and the Spurs. Great win by the Knicks, down at the half.
You're the best, Tom.
Doing what they do best, storming back. Brunson was awesome. Cat was awesome. Just an incredible job. And they're up 1-0, 3 wins away from their first title, 1973. Look at that. And right out of the gate, Beer Thursday, too. Look at that. Beer Thursday. As we talk about the Knicks and the Spurs today, the Yankees are playing just after 1 o'clock against the Guardians this afternoon as well. No Judge again. I know what that means.
Means nothing.
Means he's a lot more hurt than they're letting on. That's what it means.
Told me it didn't matter.
That's what it means.
Told me it didn't matter. Just wait.
It's a lot more hurt than they're letting on because all they do is lie. They lie about injuries all the time. That's what the Yankees are best at.
Aaron and
You're
Brian
telling
don't
me
lie.
you're telling me it takes 3 days for a doctor to look at imaging on the guy?
Well, I guess he's going to go into the
come on
same witness protection program that
you're going to put him on ice like Giancarlo.
So
I saw an update on Giancarlo yesterday. He was taking swings. He's taking swings.
Swings at flies or
I don't know.
Balls?
He's taking swings. So we actually got some kind of update on him. But whenever they tell you that something's not a big deal, and then the guy doesn't play for 3 days, this is textbook Yankees the last couple of years. They're going to tell you, oh, he needs surgery, out for 2 months. You're going to get it. I'm telling you. This is what they do.
But
Yankees
you told
lie.
me yesterday it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because
2 months.
it doesn't matter because the American League sucks.
Exactly.
That's why you would say it doesn't matter. That you would think they'd make the playoffs anyway. But
Let them rest.
let them rest. Let them all rest. Yeah, what's the big deal?
Put 'em up
Everyone else is bad, so you have
Put them
nothing
up
to
in
worry about.
the suite with Giancarlo and Max, and just come back in October.
Just come back in October. We'll talk about that. Meanwhile, the Mets won yesterday.
Bravo. Congratulations.
Give them a little clap. The Mets did win yesterday, which is a good thing to see for them. They are going to be in San Diego tomorrow night.
San Diego or
There's
San Diego?
no better place to be than San Diego,
Beautiful.
California. It's just the best. So
Great
at least the
ballpark.
Mets can enjoy themselves there this weekend. They'll probably lose 2 out of 3, but at least they can enjoy themselves out in San Diego. And we've got the hockey tonight, Game 2 for the Canes and the Knights in Raleigh.
How lucky are we?
And I can't believe
How
you're
lucky
telling
are
me you got Liam Maguire back
I
today?
have the one and only, and there is only one.
There's only one Liam Maguire.
And he's going to join us with a pint today.
Has he gotten so he's all right? He's all right now after Montreal lost to Carolina? He's okay after.
Look, Liam's going to be the first one to tell you how many cups does he have to count.
He does. He's got a lot of cups to count. Not, which
How
is
many
a
cups? How many gold medals does he
Sure.
have to count?
Sure. If you want to get into all that, then yes, that's perfectly fine to say. If you want to go ahead and go in that direction,
he was raised by a former Dub, so
yeah,
a Dub himself. So
we don't mind.
you can't give Liam the business.
I love Liam.
Get him back.
Liam's great. I'm glad we're gonna get him back on today.
1 o'clock.
Ahead of the Canes and the Knights, game number 2 tonight, where gonna take a lot to be as good as game number 1. And take a lot to be as good as game 1. 5-4 with the Vegas with the win. Mike Carver along with Paul Cuthbert here down at Borrelli's in Long Beach on the island. How are you, Paul?
I am great. This place was rocking last night.
Got the USA soccer jerseys out. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Let's go, baby. Next week, World Cup. We're here.
We're
Let's
really going to
go.
talk about it, huh? I guess
Let's
I got
go.
a little homework.
It's all happening.
Packed house here last night. The crew was amazing. I was very impressed seeing how they got it done. But a great crowd, in and out of the back and forth between the Knicks and the Spurs last night, and just to watch the crew here at Borrelli's get it done, because you couldn't move in here. You couldn't move.
I saw the video you sent me and you put it up on the
Couldn't move.
gram.
I mean, BT
And it
could
was-
barely get in the house.
Yeah, BT likes that corner back there. BT goes back there in that corner. That was like that Sunday we came here for the Nick Laker
Somebody
game.
was in his corner spot when he got
Oh, they
there.
had to move him? Had to extract someone?
I'm going to say somebody was sitting there.
Was it you?
I'm not getting in BT's way. You know that. No, but a great night here last night.
And
a great game.
And look, that was, I think that last night, if there were any Spur fans who thought, oh, we beat the Thunder, this is going to be easy for us, blah, 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 blah. I think that they got a dose of reality last night, that the Knicks are better than them and that the Knicks are going to beat them in this series, but that there's a lot for them to play for. And the other side is, if you were a Knicks fan who maybe still didn't believe and thought, man, this is great, but now they're playing the Spurs, this is the NBA final, you also got a dose of reality, because guess what? They are that good. And they I said they're going to win the NBA championship. They are. And they have that special sauce. Down again. And it wasn't even like the Cleveland game one. It wasn't a slow start. They came out hot. They came out of the gates blazing. And then Brunson goes off. And I always, Brunson does that from time to time. We've seen over the years, Brunson limping back to the locker room. And he comes flying back out, has a 30-point night. Cat was incredible in the second half.
I mean, I brought that up yesterday, that he was probably going to be the main guy in Wemby, and he was, and he did a phenomenal job.
I had Cat 20-1 to be the Finals MVP. Bet's off to a good start. Cat 20-1, win the Finals MVP. Let's go. Put him in there.
He played so good last
Excited.
night, especially defensively. Look, outside of the first quarter, the Knicks led them in every quarter point wise. Just you can go up and down here as far as the starters here, and Hart, and OG, and Cat, Bridges, and Brunson was just, the scare in the beginning with the knee injury there. Comes back. I thought Brown did again just a masterful job of pulling the reins back and forth with the bench, and even giving Brunson a rest there. I guess it was at the top of the fourth quarter there, I believe. And that's when San Antonio went on that other little bit of a 9-0 run, I think. And then, Brunson comes back in. He's got the extra gas. And, maybe the shooting wasn't all that great, as far as consistency. But the defense just played very well. And they were just great at the free throw line there at the end of the fourth quarter, which those points ended up being huge.
You look at the way that they finished the game on an 11-0 run, and it just goes back to all of the things that they have done throughout this 12-game winning streak in the playoffs. They're the best team. Okay. It is what it is. The Spurs are very good. The Knicks are better. They just are. And maybe it took till the playoffs to find all that out. Maybe they weren't there. It doesn't matter how you are in the regular season. We spent so many weeks here during the winter, even while the football was going on and while we were maybe focused on other things, Olympic hockey, whatever. And we'd always find a couple minutes for the Knicks during the regular season, because the NBA regular season's, it's boring. Let's just say what it is. And they'd have bad losses to Detroit or bad losses to somebody else. And what would I say to you every time? Who cares? It's the regular season.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when the money gets put on the table. And now 12 games in a row, they are winning. And obviously last night, they didn't smash them. And they did win by double digits at the end of the day. So you could theoretically, if you didn't watch the game and saw the score, so maybe they did smash them. But 10-point win for them, 11-0 run to finish the game. They are on their way, 3 more wins. Now, I know a lot of people are excited, and I get that. But I still think tomorrow night, I would expect some punch back from the Spurs in game number 2 at home. As great as this is, and maybe it will happen, but I don't see it. I don't think the Knicks are coming back home up 2-0. I think the Spurs will have some punch back tomorrow night and be able to even the series at 1 game apiece, heading back to the Garden for what will be a wild scene Monday night for game 3.
Yeah, I know where you're coming from, and I would have felt that. Like I said, I've said the series in 6.
You're a believer, sweep.
No, I'm not so much a believer in the sweep.
Sweep.
But man, if they get
positive Tommy, 5 games yesterday, he said.
But if they get back to New York 2-0, but here's what I'm going to say. And watching that game from tip to end, the Knicks were showing signs there of a game that, the old Knicks before the playoffs, that they would have lost. They would have kind of stayed out of sync. And San Antonio did look really impressive there, especially on that 13-0 run, and they were just kind of hitting everything.
Yeah.
But they did what they've done on this 12-0 run. They've found a way. They've balanced things out. Brown has used the bench, given Brunson the rest, Cat the rest. These guys have found a way defensively just to kind of keep it even. And here's the other thing. San Antonio they looked gassed there at the end. Wemby looked gassed, especially when he gave the ball up there, that turnover there, just outside the 3-point line. And you could see that they were a little tired. And I didn't see the exhaustion so much on the Knicks side. So
I thought Wemby was worn down a little bit in the fourth.
Yeah, and I just think the Knicks might just be a fantastic basketball team as a team, like all of them cohesively, where they might just have enough to take on whatever San Antonio played.
They're winning.
Throws at them.
They're winning. They're gonna win.
Yeah, but I think they can win game 2, and maybe the sweep doesn't isn't so far fetched.
Ooh, sweep.
Well, do you look at the way San Antonio was trying last night? They couldn't get it done.
I understand. They'll punch back tomorrow. They
might punch back, but I think the Knicks, they can return it and match them. Different from, say, the Thunder.
Look, there's something special with this team right now. There's absolutely something special. They're hitting all these shots. I mean, I'm watching some of the highlights again now. Like this, I thought the one that Deuce banked off the glass in the corner was a great shot. Just a 14-point comeback in the second half. But they are
Brunson. I don't know how Brunson does that thing in midair where he kind of just shifts to one hand, like to beat Wemby or whoever's on guard with him and stuff. And San Antonio really had their defensive guards are, they had to press so much on Brunson. He makes them work. That's why I think they were kind of tired and it's not only Brunson. I think all of them. I think, you go down the line here last night too. Alvarado had a great game. Robinson came in, had a good game.
He did.
Great,
Deuce was great.
Shama came in, they just kind of have too much. So whatever San Antonio was throwing at them defensively, the Knicks were, I think, just pulling all the gas out of them.
Hart was excellent too, and I know he didn't. It was the kind of box score which looked like Hart had 3 points, but he had 15 boards last night, and every board it felt like was like a really big board. Like he was getting crucial rebounds for them. He had 6 dimes to go along with it. He was excellent in that game. I have Josh Hart 20-1 to have the most rebounds in the series as well, Paulie. So that got off to a good start with 15 boards last night. So that was very good to see. They got everything that they needed from everyone, and they are well on their way. But I think San Antonio wins tomorrow night, game 2.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, this is a great feeling. I just think the Knicks, man,
great feeling.
Every time you're thinking,
maybe that's because I'm not a Knicks fan per se. So I'm enjoying this run, and I'm getting on board.
And I'm not being a homer here. I'm just respecting the game.
It's okay to be that.
I am respecting the game
okay
that
to be
the
that.
Knicks
Plenty of them
are playing, man. They are playing.
You got plenty of homers around here.
Excellent basketball, man.
I would love it for Borrelli's to keep having these Knicks games. It's going to be great. I told you they're going to have to shut Beach Street down out here the night they win the whole thing. They're going to have to get the barriers up. There's going to be people out here all over the place. But they can shut down Beach Street the night the Knicks win the title. You know that. The Knicks fans of a certain age have waited for this their whole lives, the Bronx Buckeye says. We love Eddie. This is what it's all about. It's what Carver will feel when the Bills do it. Yeah, right. That'll be the day, Eddie. Bills actually winning a Super Bowl. But hey, if the Knicks, if the Knicks won, I guess anybody. Look, it's been, 50 plus years. Maybe the Bills can. This could give me hope that the Bills can actually win a Super Bowl. I don't know.
Just got to be positive, like Tommy was yesterday.
Tommy was very positive, man.
You boys better win something with that new barn they built for you.
Super positive yesterday, and that is now carried on for us here. Sun's outdoors open. That's right, John. Come down and have a beer, John. Sun. I know John's up in probably Buffalo. right now. But yes, today is the day between the two ferns.
Now, I'm going to ask you too. I mean, what do you think of Brown's job here, man? I mean,
he's going to have a job for a very long time if he gets 3 more wins. That's what I think. And this is probably killing. This has got to be killing Tibbs, because Tibbs had this team. He had this team, but
as much as Torts is killing Cassidy.
Well, Cassidy really, can you imagine if he would have won? That would have been second cup if Cassidy stuck. But you can't really do that stuff, and it's hard to do that, whether it's with Tibbs and Brown or Cassidy with Torts, because those changes were made for a reason, and sometimes, Paulie, those changes are made for things that none of us really have any idea about.
Yeah.
Like when you looked on the surface.
Well, you're hearing some real tough stories about Cassidy, like
how tough. Yeah. No,
I'm saying but the players would shut him out.
Right, and that's the kind of stuff that, okay, like you get it, and you understand why they went and made that move to where they are right now. And I think the same thing, you would talk about with Tibbs last summer. Everybody, when that initially happened, was like, "Oh my God, they just went to the Eastern Conference Finals. How do you fire Tibbs?" Sometimes you just need the right guy who's maybe more of, and Tibbs is hard on his guys and expects a certain thing and only played 6 guys all the time. Like, it was just different. And Mike Brown's a little bit more of a steady hand that this group of players maybe appreciate it a little bit more. And, it was there. The ingredients were there to go and win, because it's basically the same team. And yes, did they add some bench pieces that have been extremely helpful? Yes, they have. But it's basically the same thing that they have in there. And now they're just off and running, and it's awesome to see. So we'll do a little, I think you already kind of got an idea of what I'm going to do. But before we leave, we'll do who you got for game 2.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, Knicks and the Spurs, that we will have. We're going to get Liam in here in a couple minutes. Why don't we let everybody know what's going on at Borrelli's this weekend, Paulie? And then we'll get Liam in and we'll talk about Vegas, Carolina, game number 2 tonight in Raleigh. Super exciting. And Borrelli's was madness last night. They're going to be ready to go again tomorrow night for game number 2. But there's things going on, not just tomorrow night, Paulie, but throughout the next few days at Borrelli's.
Yeah, once again, we are broadcasting live from Borrelli's Taproom right here on 912 West Beach Street here in Long Beach on the island in New York, baby. No better place to be. It is gorgeous down here. We are just a few hundred feet away from the ocean, and it's a great place to be. So last night, the place was rocking here. Thanks to BT and the whole entire crew here at Borrelli's for just hosting a fantastic night of Knicks basketball. And make sure you're back here tomorrow night, game 2 on Friday here. Same thing, 2-for-1 pizzas, bucket specials, dollar wings, and the game on all the TVs and sound on and loud. So come down here and support the Knicks, brought to you by 1800 Tequila, baby. You ever drink that, Mike? It's good stuff.
I've heard that it's outstanding.
Yeah. Make sure you don't have to operate anything with a few hands on it. Anyway, tonight's Thursday. That means it's carnivore night. And on carnivore night, it's bring down $42.99. You get a choice of steak, pork, and veal, a soup, a salad, and a dessert. And bottomless beers and endless wines all night here. And now starting tonight, every Thursday, in addition to the great meal and drinks that you can enjoy for $42.99, Current and Company will be the live music. The band will be here on Thursday nights starting at 8 p.m. So
they're outstanding.
Just great stuff here on Thursday nights going forward. And that leads into the live music this weekend here at Borrelli's. Tomorrow night, Dennis Kelly's going to be here at 7 p.m., followed by DJ Johnny John for the Friday night dance party. And then on Saturday, local favorite Evan Kariga will be here at 7 p.m. as well. And then DJ TM Select, who is spinning some great tunes here after the Knicks won last night as well, too. And then on Sunday, Mark Campanelli will be here in the afternoon, I believe 4 or 5 o'clock. And then DJ TM Select returns for the Sunday night dance party, Sunday Fun Day dance party here at Borrelli's. Local comedy shows coming up here at Borrelli's. You got reschedule. Mark Norman's going to be here on Tuesday, June 23rd. James Fried is sold out on June 29th. Joe List will be here on July 14th. And then Chris DiStefano will be here on August 5th. A few tickets left for those. Go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com, click on events, or go to Eventbrite.com and click on Borrelli's, or search for Borrelli's Comedy. And rounding out things here for the rest of the month, we have our music theme nights returning here on the 17th. It is Yacht Rock night. Come on down.
Yeah.
$21 drinks, dinner special, and drinks and all that stuff. The great sound of the 70s and 80s soft rock. And then the following week, I believe it's 80s night. So come on down for that as well, too. Your parachute pants. And don't forget, June 22nd is the golf outing, which me and Mike will be a part of. We have our fearsome foursome with Shady and Boots. Remember those names. Fear those names. Who is Shady and Boots? It's going to be a rip. And don't forget, anytime you come into Borrelli's, just mention the CNC Carver and Cuthbert podcast, and you get a free Miller Lite draft. Start your session with a free drink. Just mention me and Mikey, and it's a great thing. And that's anytime you come into Borrelli's, all right? And we're always here. Lunch, Monday through Sunday. And me and Mike are here on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And that's what's happening at Borrelli's, my friend.
That is what's happening at Borrelli's. Oh, maybe I should be over here. That is what's happening at Borrelli's. And I will let you know, good news from Muirfield Village in Ohio, where Wyndham the Butler Clark is tied for the lead at the Memorial.
Really?
Jack Nicklaus's tournament. And it just so happens that I have Wyndham Clark for first-round leader. So we'd like for him to continue to play well for the rest of the afternoon. He's 4 under through 12.
4 under.
If we could somehow get him to maybe 5 or 6 under,
that
would be, he's tied with Tommy Fleetwood right now. We'd love to get Wyndham the Butler Clark going here for us. All right, let's do some hockey. I know I've let Liam wait forever.
I think your man's ready.
And I think we're finally ready to rock with the great Liam Maguire, who I know, Paul, you've talked to Liam in a while, and we used to talk to Liam all the time, and you used to have Liam. When we did the Red Line show back in the day, we talked to Liam. There he is. Liam, my man. How are you?
Boys, what the hell's going on down there?
The doors are open, Liam, and it's nice out. And we've got ferns here. We've got, look at this, even. We got this, too. I know that you're a fan of these, Liam.
I am big time. Yeah, I'd like to drill back about 100 with both of you. We can hook up sometime. But setup looks great. Everything looks great. Love it.
Now, before we get into Vegas and Carolina, and Paulie already told me what your answer is going to be, but I will ask you first anyway. Have you come down and let go of the Montreal loss to the Canes in the Eastern Conference Final? Are we all good?
Yeah, man. I mean, I had a wake, I had a funeral, and you know the way the Irish wakes are. Yeah, it was over pretty quick, really. They had the 12-day layoff, so they laid the egg in the first game, and Montreal had some fun, and then Carolina, picked up their puck and went home and said, "That's it now, Montreal. We're not letting you touch the puck anymore." And they won 4 straight pretty easily. I mean, yeah, 2 of the games went in overtime, and I think the Habs' resiliency in games 2 and 3 in particular, from what they did all season, which was for them a spectacular continuation of this 5-year rebuild that they're in right now, year 5 as it's been going, and they showed all they had, whatever they had left, to push those 2 puppies into OT. But really, Carolina really dominated the overtime sections as well, and it went the way it should have. And now we've got this terrific final happening, which is just great.
That's what I think the main thing is, Liam, is I know that it sucks when you lose. Like, when you get that far and you're so close, you could taste it. And like, I felt that when the Islanders lost those 2 East finals to Tampa, it's like, man, you hope you get back, but it's tough. But Montreal, such a young squad and good young players that you feel like it's just the start of something going forward for them, this little run that they had this year.
Well, they improved their point total for the 5th straight year. The NHL record is 8.
Yeah.
They had 106 points. Last year, they made the playoffs on the final night. They lost in 5 to Washington. This year, they finished tied for 2nd by regulation wins. They were 3rd in their division. They beat both the teams ahead of them in unbelievable 7-game series, where over the course of the 14 games, they were the better team over 14 games. They just weren't in either of the game 7s, but that's why you play the game. And I think they were full measure for those series victories, and they got, like you just said, that final night in Game 5 against Carolina, out of the 18 players dressed, Montreal had 14 25 or under, and their captain, Nick Suzuki, is 26. By comparison, Carolina had 10 players in their 30s, so 10 or 11. So it's a night and day difference, and it showed on the ice. But if you're a Hab fan, of which I am, we're thrilled where things are going here. And now they've moved a big piece up the ladder. You don't ever want to see regression, but it happens. And if it happens to be where, say, they lost in the second round next year, but they had 110 or 15 points, finished first or second in the division, but lost in the second round, say, is it a regression? Well, it depends who you lost to and who's in the lineup and everything else.
Yeah.
The bottom line is they've built a nucleus here that should be a cup contending team within a couple seasons. They weren't ready for prime time yet, and it showed. And Vegas are ready for prime time, and it showed as well. So we're through. We're in the. We could be seeing something really epic here, guys. We'll know more tonight if Carolina can bounce back, or even if they lose. I don't think anybody should be writing them off. But we could be seeing something really epic based on how that game one went.
Liam, before we dive into that series and a couple of notes for the playoffs, just a couple more quick things from me on the Habs here. Your thoughts on, obviously, it looks like Gallagher is going to be out. And obviously with the youth movement here, as you're talking about, maybe not such a big deal, but obviously we've been a big part of the team here over the last few years. My other question is Marty St. Louis, man. Maybe in the beginning, maybe questionable as far as him taking this gig and stuff, but I have sat back. I don't know if he could have maybe asked for a better guy, obviously the multilingual aspect for him, but the way he's inspired this team, and particularly I want to ask you, is he the real deal as far as his coaching? We're seeing the obvious stuff, the progression of the franchise under his belt, but is he the real deal? Are you happy with the job he's doing?
I'll take that last part first because I think now that we have a body of work of 4.5 years to look at, quite clearly at this juncture for this roster, he is absolutely the epitome of the real deal. Going forward, and I'll address the Gallagher situation as part of this, it's the first red flag for me, but I'll get there in a second. But right now, what he's done with this team, well, I think he finished fourth in the Jack Adams voting. He has been absolutely spectacular. And look, it's kind of been a stated thing for a long time that a superstar as a player typically doesn't make a good coach. Of course, there's outliers. Toe Blake, Larry Robinson, Jacques Lemaire. You can go down the line. There's a few guys that were Hall of Fame players that also were Hall of Fame coaches. Maybe Lemaire, maybe you want to debate, I don't know, but what he did in New Jersey, I think qualifies. And I think that Marty St. Louis is in that realm, of course, a long way from having the recognition and success as a coach that those guys achieved. But at the same time, for what he's done in 4.5 years, absolutely brilliant. Now, my little red flag here, and it ties in with Gallagher. The contracts that Bergevin, the previous general manager, Marc Bergevin, gave to Brendan Gallagher and Josh Anderson were ridiculous. Mm-hmm. They were retirement contracts given to guys in basically in just past their prime. And he gave them a contract, based on what should have been to get those types of numbers at that time. The production needed to be a whole lot more. It wasn't, which is fine. Bergevin gets let go. Gorton comes over from the Rangers. Kent Hughes comes away from a player agent. They take over and they start running with the Habs as they do. You get up to the end here. Josh Anderson has found a niche. He'll probably, at the end of this contract, try to re-sign it'll be at a lesser rate. What happened with Gallagher with 1 year to go on his deal, for Marty not to dress him in one of those last two games, to me, was a massive, colossal mistake. You can't be that blind when you're that close to the situation and not see that Montreal has zero chance of not only winning the series, but winning another game. And you mean to tell me you can't take out Villano? These guys are playing 8 minutes a night, and give Galley his last game. He played 911 regular season games for the Montreal Canadiens, and you're not giving him a chance to go out. I know that's the Vegas way. They don't give a crap They'll cut your throat to win. They run over their grandmothers to win. But in Montreal, it's a different story. And I thought not putting Galley in and not putting Arbor in, Jack-Eye, for Veleno and Struble was a colossal mistake by Marty. And to me, the first tiny, I don't want him gone. I want to see him next year, but it's a tiny little red flag chink in the armor here where you start to see a guy who's got no pro coaching experience. The last thing you want any of these guys to do is start to overthink it. Don't overthink it, Marty. You've run on your instincts. You came up from nothing as a player. He was in Ottawa's camp. I watched him train in the village of Arnprior when he was Ottawa Senators property. They cut him loose, but this is even before he went to Calgary. Way before he went to Tampa. So Marty came from nothing other than an outstanding career at University of Vermont, where he's 5'0" in an era where no one's even looking at those guys. And he came on to do what he did in the NHL. I have so much respect for that. But Marty, don't overcoach it, baby. And he did at the end. And it cost Galley an opportunity to go out on his shield, which he should have been given. But I still love what Marty's done. How can you not?
Let's talk about Vegas and Carolina now, Liam. And you know what? I was going to start with the game the other night and all that, but you opened the door to something that you just mentioned. So I'm going to start there instead. There is obviously a sentiment amongst traditional hockey markets. I'll put it that way. Toronto, Montreal, Boston, New York, Philadelphia, etc., that hates the Vegas Golden Knights for being in their third Stanley Cup final in 9 seasons, which is just ridiculous. The advantages that they were given in the expansion draft that no other expansion team had ever been given before. And I understand they needed that market to be super good right out of the gate, but I can kind of hear it in the way that you just talked. You are clearly, Liam, among that, and no one knows the history of the game as much as you do. You are clearly among those that do not like the Vegas Golden Knights for all the success that they have had over their first 9 seasons.
Yeah, the irony there, of course, is the coach they just let go is a good friend of mine, Bruce Cassidy, and he played junior here in Ottawa, won a Memorial Cup with the 67s in 1984. It's back around the time period when I met him. He used to play ball hockey in the summer, as did I, and very popular and well-liked guy. And I was thrilled when he got that cup, because I remember the first interview he did, at least with the Hockey Night in Canada guys, and he said, they can't take this away from me. They can never take this away from me. And I said, way to go, Butch, way to go. But the rest of your team, I friggin' hate. I hate you bastards. And look, they fleeced every GM in the league, man, in 2017. They just took the blinders, pulled them right down over their eyes and said, no, we'll take the 3 other pieces and we'll not select the one guy on your roster you think is irreplaceable, and give us Jonathan Marsh's show. Yeah, give us William Karlsson. What's he ever done? He's done nothing for you. Let him come to us. And next thing you know, he scored 40. Like, it's a lot of the GMs did it to themselves, but when Vegas went to that final, like, look, this is 1920s stuff that the Montreal Maroons did and the New York Rangers did when they came in. Like, Maroons came in 24, won their first cup in 26. Rangers came in 26, won their first cup in 28. That's 100 years ago. We weren't supposed to be seeing this again. And then here's Vegas doing it. And, they kind of maintain and then they slide, but they didn't rebuild. They just retooled. They sent popular guys packing. They were cutthroat in the way they operate. And a lot of people are going, Jesus, man, like, holy lifting. Do you have a heart or not? And no, they missed the playoffs. And then 2 years later, boom, Stanley Cup. And now they're back again. And they look like hell in a cell. And who knows how the rest of the series is going to go. But, yeah, it's not. Look, I got nothing against Kelly McCrimmon. And now they're not letting Butch interview. I got a big problem with that, Liam. That's big such bullshit. I mean, come on, seriously. You know what's going to happen? They know at the end of the season they'll let them. They'll let him, and he'll obviously grab a gig somewhere. The guy can coach, but now Torts comes in, on a Superman cape, and now he's a savior. Hasn't done anything since Tampa in 2004. He's bounced around everywhere he goes. Disaster up here in Canada, absolute disaster in Vancouver, and he bounces around. And now he comes in and Torts, what's the first thing? No interviews. No, nobody's talking. Well, how'd that feel? $100,000 and no draft pick. See ya.
Like they don't care about the picks, right, Liam?
Anyways, man, I'm not a big fan of Vegas.
Yeah, and I mean, as far as the draft pick for Vegas, just talking about how they've done things here over the 9 years. I mean, that draft pick doesn't really do much. Maybe the scouts are pissed off, but if they end up winning this cup, I mean, all those antics.
You're right, Paul.
Yeah, and as far as Torts antics, we're all used to it by now, here and there. But two things on the series itself. I know Mike's talking about it before. I am as far as maybe going long and giving flowers to Carolina here and probably bouncing back and everything else. I'm seeing it differently. I think there's something really strong going on here with this Vegas team. Maybe the experience of some of the guys here, but and just the way Torts has just found a way to roll these guys out. And you've got multiple players. Your third and fourth line are chipping in here. Obviously, Carter Hart. A little shaky in the beginning game the other day, but he's making stops. He's done it here throughout this run. But when you're throwing Marner and Eichel out on your shorthanded penalty kills here, and you're just pressing, and they've just been able to find a way, obviously through Colorado here, and then this first game, and full marks to Carolina because they hit them back like Colorado couldn't. But still, Howden, these guys they're just finding a way to do it. And I think the difference too is this run that Carter Hart's been on, where they haven't really had to worry too much about goaltending here for the Knights. So my take is I think Vegas might have the potential here to sweep them just because of the way they're playing. And I just want to get your take on that as far as that bounce back. And then I also want to get your thoughts on Malhotra and Ryan Johnson and the turnover there in Vancouver too.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they'll sweep them, but I mean, you could be right. Obviously, we'll take it a game at a time here, and if they win tonight and they go back home up 2, it's going to be a hell of a leverage position. There's no question about it. And you kind of answered it a little bit yourself. I mean, Carolina had the quick 2-0 lead, and then had to fight back a couple times to tie that puppy. And Vegas scores late to win it. I thought we were heading to OT for sure. But I think both of these teams have the ability for quick strike. They have quick strike transition games. Vegas has done a masterful job here at getting this position. I'll tell you what, I watched that Vegas-Colorado series, and I know Makar missed early and McKinnon got hurt and played. They both played. But that Game 4 game, and both Makar and McKinnon looked very mobile out there. They were swarmed by Vegas. That first period was, I just was watching it going, holy cow. Like, that was unbelievable. It's as good as I've seen Vegas, maybe ever. And I know I'm talking about a team that won the cup just a few years ago. So, yeah, could they sweep them? I mean, there's always a possibility. You can't sweep them unless you win the first one, and they won the first one. I don't think they will. I think this Carolina team is the best I've seen since they won the cup in 2006. And this is not the Carolina team that's gone quietly in the night 3 other times in the last 8 years in the semifinals, including 2 sweeps. This is not the same team. They're experienced. They're older. They're way more physical. And this Vegas team will eat you up. And Carolina, I think, is ready for the pushback. And I think we're, like I said to you, Paulie.
Can Anderson handle the swarm, though? Can Anderson?
Yeah, well,
can he handle the swarm?
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. And we'll see how it goes. I think we're in the throes here, potentially what could be one of the best series we've seen in some time. I hope that's the case because the more hockey, the better at this point for me anyway. And I'd love to see it go deep. If Vegas ends up doing a tap dance on them, so be it, man. You're beating a hell of a team. That's for sure. Because this Carolina team is by far the best they've been in the Rod Brindamore era. That is for sure. In this last year, 8 years, they've been on this run. This is by far the best they've had.
I agree, Liam. And look, I don't think that this is going to be a sweep. I think that this is absolutely back and forth. I expect Carolina to punch back tonight. I think it'll be 1-1 going to Vegas. I think it'll be 2-2 when they leave Vegas. I think we're going to get a classic that goes 7 games. I think Vegas will win, but I think it is going to be a classic that goes 7 games. Back to Torts. Me and Paulie had this discussion the other day. If he wins the second cup, is he a Hockey Hall of Famer?
Well, in the builder category, where he's eligible, he would have to get some strong consideration.
He'd be the 4th guy to win 2 in the modern era, right? Him, Bowman, and a couple guys from way back when.
To win
2 cups with 2 different teams. I think he'd be the 4th or 5th guy.
Yeah, I'd have to. The first was Tommy Gorman, 1934-35. Who was the second?
That's
Dick
the name.
Irvin.
I remember when I read it. That was definitely the first name.
Yeah, Tommy Gorman's the first. Dick Irvin, senior with Toronto and Montreal, would be the second. Scotty, of course. We missing anybody? So
I think he'd be the 4th.
Yeah, just thinking really quickly here. I think you could be right. So that would be pretty impressive stuff. There's so few, and I think he'd have to get strong consideration, especially with the time difference. It's not like he fell off the map. He kept coaching and in some places doing good things and had good runs. And you know, for whatever happened in Vancouver, and I know I never got to that, Paulie, about Johnson and Malholtra, but I think Torts would have to get some strong consideration for the builder category. Absolutely, you know, when it's all said and done.
Go ahead, Vancouver.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad you brought that up because definitely want to hear Liam's take on that. But yeah, alluding to coaching. Look, there's we need another podcast, Liam, here to just go through a lot of the coaching stuff. But you know, in the Torts conversation here, the troubles, you might say, Liam, that Vancouver has gone through over the years. But seeing, you know, I'm not saying I've been watching Manny Malhotra, you know, with a magnifying glass here, but seeing what he did in Abbotsford with Johnson here too, and the Sedin twins coming in, for some reason, you know, this goes back to me being a, you know, late 70s, early 80s kid. I've always had a soft spot for Vancouver with Roger Nielsen and all that stuff, the old days, Tiger and everything else.
Yeah.
And I wish they'd get rid of that Orca and go back to the brown and the gold. But this looks like a really great progression here. Younger guys. I love the fact that they're, you know, like you hear what's going on in Toronto now and Roy being interviewed and Laviolette. It's like the same old mashup. I want youth in the NHL as far as coaching and stuff, younger guys. I just think that's a nice progression, not only with Manny behind the bench, Johnson, the GM, the Sedin twins coming in here, guys who've been part of the organization, had some success, obviously, and the younger part of it. So I'd just love to get your take on it, being the NHL historian that you are, as far as the old timers and stuff, seeing a little bit of a fresh young blood going on there in Vancouver. Yeah,
well, we're definitely not talking about Orland Kurtenbach and Pat Quinn and Barry Wilkins and Dennis Kearns and all those early 70s Vancouver team. You know, they had a little bit of success, and of course that great final against the Islanders, they went out pretty quick. But along the way, you know, you had the Roger Nielsen coming out party, as you said, and then just a tremendous final against the Rangers in '94.
Yes,
and a tremendous final against the Bruins in 2011. So
yes,
they've carved out a niche in their history, and I think that's probably why, at least what we see on social media, which is largely Twitter, is so toxic out of Vancouver, because I think they feel they've been down this path multiple times. I got to tell you, I did not think Adam Foote was hugely wrong here in his coaching in this organization. I think maybe he came in on the wrong time based on who was running things behind the scenes. I think the guy did an okay job, but you know, we're certainly now looking at bringing back, as you say, the Sedins. It'll be interesting. Toronto's trying to carve a page there too with Matt Sundin. And you know, when you bring these guys back, what is their actual impact going to be on the hockey operations? That's something I always wonder about. And I think in Vancouver's case, look, it's a case, I think, guys, where teams like Vancouver sometimes don't realize you got to tear down to the studs. It's really difficult I always use the double Ferris wheel analogy. The double Ferris wheel, which you've all been on, by the time it circles around, normally you can finish 3 or 4 beers if you bring them on. And what you want to do is you want to stay in that top circle. But inevitably, it's going to flip and it's going to go all the way down. And then you're down there at the bottom. And if you're down there at the bottom, make use of your time down there and structure the rebuild accordingly. I don't think Vancouver has done that. I don't think they've made good acquisitions professionally. I don't think they've drafted particularly well. But then, you run into scenarios where guys just disappear. Like they are getting everything out of a star player, and then all of a sudden, boom, within a couple of years. How much of that? And look, when JT Miller was there, look at all the off-ice stuff that allegedly was going on. And we don't know the whole story, but there was enough there for Rick Tocchet to say, "See ya, I'm out of here." He wasn't fired. Like, it's a toxic environment, Paulie. And now can Ryan and Manny come in there? Can the Sedins being there, can they sort of put a damper on this thing, tighten the lid on it, buckle up the chin straps, and get this thing going in the right direction? That's what you're saying. That's what I think, if you're a fan of the Canucks, you're hoping for. And does it have merit? And yeah, it does. But now, man, you got to go out and show me right now. You got to go show me.
Liam, tremendous job as always. We love you.
Miss you, buddy.
Great seeing you and talking to you.
You're looking well, man.
Enjoy the rest of the series, and we'll talk to you soon.
I will, buddy. It's great to chat with you, fellas. Anytime. Call me anytime.
You got it, brother. Cheers, man. Slanta, man.
Of course,
Slanta.
Author, hockey historian, Canadian legend, Liam Maguire, right there.
He's the goods. And that's the thing with Liam. You could, and I tell you, it's got to be 15 years now, 16 years.
Yeah.
And we've only been in each other's physical presence once. I went up to Montreal one year.
Right.
For a business meeting years ago and stuff. And I had to find him. But he's the kind of guy you could sit here for hours at the bar.
No, it's
anything about hockey.
Like I said, he know, and that's why I thought he's the perfect guy to ask the Torts thing about, because we had so much discussion with that, because he's the guy, and like he ripped those 2 names off, that Irvin and the other guy. Like those were I remember looking at the list when I looked it up. Those are the guys from the 20s or 30s that did it, and then Scotty Bowman and Torts would be the 4th guy to win a cup with 2 different teams. That's Hall of Fame worthy to me. I've told you, I believe he's no doubt about it going to be a Hall of Famer, especially if he wins
all the
cup.
years of hockey too. When you brought it up, to think that there's only 4 guys who've won it multiple times.
Yeah,
with 2 different teams. You would think there would be more.
Yeah, you would, right? It's it is a little bizarre.
I mean, I guess I don't know how often it's happened in other sports. I mean, can you right off the bat in the NFL? Give me 2 or 3 guys.
I mean, off the top of my head, obviously this would.
We can all think of guys who've won multiple Super Bowls, right? Cowher, you can think of him, right? He only won one.
He won one.
And then who's the guy who just left Pittsburgh? He won.
Mike Tomlin won. Tomlin's won.
So
yeah, look, the list is numerous there of guys who I believe have.
Parcells tried. Belichick tried. But I mean, Belichick doesn't get the credit because he wasn't head coach of the Giants when they won.
And hold on. Now you have my brain hurting.
Yeah, you gotta get the NFL question. I'm trying to think. I don't know if anybody has.
They have. There's definitely a few. Oh, actually, there you go. No, there hasn't.
See?
There's been plenty that have had the opportunity.
There's plenty that have won multiple.
Reeves, Fox, Vermeil, Holmgren, Reed, Shula, Parcells all had a chance to win one with the second, but no coach has won with 2 different teams. There.
So it's actually harder to do in the NFL than it is in the NHL.
It's not easy. Not easy to go ahead and do that. That's for
now
sure.
Do baseball.
Now
do basketball.
Now do baseball. Now do basketball. Now do all of those. Great job by Liam. We only got a couple minutes left. Here's the Aaron Boone update on Judge today. He went for an MRI last night. Hasn't he been hurt for days? Why did he just go for an MRI last night? They love lying to you. That's what they're best at. X-ray and CAT scan today. Yankees are still looking for a complete diagnosis, Aaron Boone says. They are such liars. You're telling me that this guy's been hurt he said he's been feeling the effects for weeks, that it really was bothering him over the weekend in Sacramento. And you're going to try to sell me that they've waited 4 or 5 days to finally get this guy imaging? They're lying. He has a major problem. They're holding it off. This is typical Yankees. They do it all the time. They string it out and string it out and string it out. And then they're going to give you the bad news, which is that he's going to be away for 2 months or whatever it is. It happens all the time.
I figured it out. Why.
Why?
As soon as this truck goes by.
Hey, it's still doors open Thursday. I don't care that there's trucks going by. The main thing is that it's doors open Thursday. That matters more to me than the trucks going by. Go ahead.
I think if the Yankees were on a longer road trip, they would have more. Let's say they were about to go on a road trip for about 3 series or something like that.
Trying to make sure they still get the home games this weekend? Is that what you think?
Yeah, I think they want people to. He might play. He may not play.
Well, you told me they got Boston this weekend.
That's what I'm saying.
You got your family's got tickets to the game on Saturday. It's not like you're not going to go because he's not playing. Maybe you won't wear the robes, but it's not like you're not going to go.
I don't know.
Expensive tickets.
I'm just thinking maybe it's they want people to still come out to the games just in case. Well, look, you're not going to tell me that Judge is the major draw for the Yankees. He's the absolute biggest draw.
The ultimate draw.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just throwing in a little thought here that maybe the reason they do this back and forth kind of thing is they want people to make sure that buy your tickets because he might be playing.
Well, they always do nonsense like that. Like that's like that. That always happens to them. But this has been a pattern now for them over the last. Remember,
it's none of our business.
Well, the same thing happened.
None of our business.
The same thing happened in LA 3 or 4 years ago, whatever that was. Remember, he ran into the fence.
Yes, the toe.
And it was his toe. And at first, it was like a whole week of, he's all right, and his back and forth. The guy missed a month and a half. He broke a toe in his foot. He didn't play. But they're doing the same thing. Well, if he was hurting last weekend, why are they just doing CAT scans and MRIs today?
God, we were talking about it yesterday too. He's probably because he's not batting well. He might have had this in spring training for all we know.
That's all fine and good. I'm just telling you.
So let me ask you,
it's nonsense.
How would you prefer the Yankee policy to be? And does every other MLB handle their top stars' injuries the same way? Or is it different because it's New York and it's the Yanks and it's because it's Judge?
I'm obviously not completely in the bowels of every single team and how they handle injuries, but
why not?
That's just, there's only so much I can do. I try to follow as much as I can. There's only so much I can do.
Well, I'm throwing it up there,
knowing that obviously them being here and us talking about them all the time, and this isn't a new thing. This has been the last 4 or 5 years. They've had a thing where they lie about injuries, and they're always worse than they first tell you. First it was, he was feeling a little tired, just a couple of days. And now we're doing CAT scans and imaging and MRIs and all this other stuff.
I don't understand that.
It's nonsense.
It's been a couple
Why
of
wouldn't
days.
you have it right away when he wasn't feeling well? Because they already have, and it's bad news.
Well, the only thing I can think here is, and I brought this up yesterday, is about the individual player. Does Judge have the right to say, look, I'm not going for a scan. I'm okay. I don't want to go. Or just let me see how let me sleep on this the next couple of days.
Unlike some other guys, one thing that I think either you said to me or somebody else did, he wants to play. Like he's a guy that wants to he wants to be out there and he wants to.
So maybe he's delaying this. Maybe he's the reason.
Yeah, because there's bad news and he wants to probably play through it, and they're trying to talk him into not playing through it because the American League sucks this year and they can get by for a little while without him. That's probably what. But who knows at the end of the day? All right, a bunch of who you gots before we leave.
Okay.
Yankees Sox this weekend. All right, actually could start this afternoon. Can they win a game from Cleveland with Rodon this afternoon? Who you got?
Not very happy.
I say they lose today and they take 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox this weekend. What do you think of that?
I'll agree. I'll agree that they'll lose today, and that I don't know, man. They might lose this whole weekend. I mean, yeah. I'm not very confident with them right now, as you can tell, and I don't have any decisive decisions.
That is just you were just
sorry.
so down on
Sorry,
them right
everybody
now.
out there. I'm not being the expert that.
Mets are in
I am
San
not
Diego
supposed to
this
be.
weekend. I say the Mets lose 2 out of 3.
Well, you know I love the Padres, so
I just love the weather. I mean, that place is awesome.
it's a little bit like San Diego right now.
Awesome.
I mean, 100 feet down the road, you're on the ocean, buddy. Come on.
All right, so I got Mets losing 2 out of 3 this weekend.
2 out of 3. I'm gonna take the Padres in a sweep.
Game 2, Vegas, Carolina tonight. Who you got?
Vegas and the Golden Knights.
I got Carolina. I got Carolina winning tonight.
Sorry.
And by the time we come back, I think they're gonna play game 3. Is it Tuesday night? I think they get. Oh, I think they play Sunday. They might play Sunday. Whatever it is, I think they'll split in Vegas too.
It's one night off. I don't think.
No, they've got an extra day.
They do.
I believe. They go Saturday, Tuesday, so they are going to play another 2 games before we're back here.
Nice.
I think it'll be 2-2. Wait a second there. You got permits to close Beach Street down when the Knicks win the championship? Are you going to have all the things out here? Are we going to be able to spew out into the street?
We're running the bus and we
All right, so and you heard it here first. Q saying Borrelli's will have the bus to the Knick parade after they.
It's a national holiday.
Well, wait a second. Not just sweep in 4. And by the way, I was going over this with him yesterday. You do understand that if the Knicks sweep in 4, the parade is probably going to be the same day as the golf outing, that Monday the 22nd.
Some things we'll just bust them all right
Get everything together. Golf or Knick parade? What are you picking? Knick parade.
Move. Look, Q. Just move tee off to 4 a.m. That's it.
Only if you sweep. If you sweep, I think that we were doing the schedule yesterday. If they sweep, I think the parade would be Monday the 20th, or maybe not. No, I think that was if they won in 7. No. It's if they win in 7, the parade would be Monday the 22nd. Because game 7's Friday night the 19th. That's what it was. The sweep was something else. Sweep, you're good. So if they win in 7, it's Monday the 22nd. It's going to be the parade. So get yourself ready. All right. There you go. Q chimes in with all the logistics for everything.
I'll say this. They didn't play well. They won last night.
They did. They did.
Play well. JB took 30 shots. Look at his 30.
It's over. It's over. They're winning the series. They're going to win. I don't know. It's not going to be a sweep, but they're going to win the series. Knicks at 6 for real, right there. All right, so that leads me to my who you got for Knicks Spurs. I say the Spurs win game 2 tomorrow night, and then they'll take care of business at home on Monday night, and we'll be back before then.
I think the Knicks will win game 2.
You think they win both games in San Antonio?
Yeah,
man, that positive Tommy was rubbing off on you yesterday. You're ready.
I watched the game last night. I just watched how they matched up, and I don't think the Spurs are going to have enough to handle.
Wait, one more time before I leave. Run it all down again. Here we go. What's happening at Borrelli's this weekend? Game 2, everything before we go. Please let everybody know.
All right, don't forget, we're broadcasting live here Wednesdays, Thursdays from Borrelli's Taproom, 912 West Beach Street, right here in Long Beach, on Long Island, in the great state of New York, in the U.S. of A. It's Thursday night. It is carnivore night. Bring down $42.99. You get a choice of veal, pork, or steak, soup, salad, a dessert, bottomless beers, endless wines, and starting tonight and every Thursday for the rest of the season here at 8 p.m., live band, Current Company will be here. It's a great Thursday night. Come on down. Friday, okay? It's Knicks games too. The watch party is going to be on, but we'll also have live music too before the game as well, and that will be with Dennis Kelly tomorrow, all right?
Yeah.
Before the game and maybe in between quarters and periods and all that other stuff. And then DJ Johnny John will be spinning for the Friday night dance party. And DJ TM Select was here last night after the post game. It was nuts in here. It's going to be crazy on Friday, too. Every Knicks game. Come on down here. 2-for-1 pizzas, dollar wings, tons of bucket specials, and the great crew and staff here at Borrelli's Taproom. On Saturday, the live music continues with local favorite Evan Carriga. 7 o'clock, followed by DJ TM Select for the Saturday night dance party. And then Sunday, Mark Campanelli is going to be here 4 or 5 p.m. And then again, DJ TM Select for the Sunday Fun Day dance party. Upcoming comedy, Mark Norman show is rescheduled to Tuesday, June 23rd. Still tickets left for that. James Freed is sold out here on June 29th. There's still tickets left for Joe List on July 14th. and Chris DiStefano on August 5th. Go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com, click on events, or go to Eventbrite.com and search Borrelli's Comedy. And as the guys were just shouting back and forth to each other in case there's a parade or whatever, on June 22nd is the golf outing for Borrelli's here. If there is a parade, like I said, we might have to tee off at 4 o'clock in the morning, then jump on the bus and go into Manhattan for the Canyon Heroes. And don't forget, as always, come down to Borrelli's anytime. Mention the Carver and Cuthbert podcast. You start your session off with a free Miller Lite draft. And again, the Wednesday night theme nights come back here on the 17th with Yacht Rock Night, and then the 24th with 80s Night. And that's what's happening here at Borrelli's Taproom.
Hey, eagle for Wyndham Clark, getting him to 6 under at Muirfield. Let's go in the lead. Get me that first-round leader with Wyndham Clark. I'm due. He owed me from a couple of weeks ago. I should have had him down at the Byron Nelson. All right, Paulie, great job as always. We're back
glad
next
you made
week.
it, pal. Good stuff.
Glad I made it too.
Good to see you, man. I know you.
I thought they were going to. I had a little trip to the dentist this morning, which I wasn't sure I was going to get out of there in time to make it to this. But we made it. We're good to go. We're back Wednesday, noon East. Is that game 4 Wednesday? I believe it is, right? Are we before game 4 on Wednesday night? I have not. My schedule is just. We are Wednesday, June 10th.
And we'll talk
Game
some World
4.
Cup next week for the
Yes,
crew in the
and
chat
the World
room.
Cup starts next week. I'm super excited. I'm into it big time.
I'm not.
I'm going to come down for one of the late night USA games
No,
here
you're
at
not.
Borrelli's.
I
Yes,
know.
I am. I am guaranteed.
I need a sports betting app for that.
I am
I'm gonna
guaranteed
put some numbers on that.
one of the 10 p.m. East World Cup USA games. I am coming down here to watch the game. I am going to be here for it.
Can I ask a stupid question?
Why?
Why would it be on at 10 o'clock?
Because they're playing in LA and Seattle.
Yes.
So they have the late night. They have the late night kicks. They want to play in place. They don't want to play on the heat in the East Coast. They have systematically made it so that the United States does as good as possible at this World Cup. Everything down to who they're playing, where they're playing, when they're playing. Everything is set up for them to actually do well at this World Cup. All right. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio, Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. We're back Wednesday, noon East. Enjoy everything this weekend. We'll see you then.